So Coach Tom was showing you guys some turtle control stuff, basically moving from one side to the next, right? There's a reason why you do it that way, so you don't get countered. We're gonna work on our aspect of being in that position. How do we get out, right? So how do we end up there, number one? If he's blowing by me passing, sometimes it's easy to say that don't ever turn away from him. And while that may be true in most cases, if he blows by me and I don't react fast enough, turning into him is purely just gonna get me past. I can't, it's too late, right? But there is an opportunity sometimes, you know, if we're in a tournament situation or what have you, to turtle up and defend right away and not give up that pass and maybe only give up an advantage instead. Does that make sense? At least I can get my guard back or come back up and go back to standing or what have you. So what happens is we'll start real basic first. If he blows by me here, he's just gonna blow by to this side, right? And it doesn't work, right? I start to come up and I turtle, right? He's playing the way he's supposed to, right? His knees are in the right position. He's not overreaching with his arms, okay? A lot of you, sometimes we tend to overreach with the arms, right? So we're gonna do that first, right? If he makes a mistake and he overreaches with his arm, that could be high under my armpit, it could be low at my wrist or my waist, it doesn't matter, okay? Number one, if I'm this guy here, I'm trying to tuck, what do I not want him to have first is his hooks, right? Sometimes he can get my back with a seatbelt or what have you. If I place my hands correctly, the seatbelt's gonna be hard for him to get, okay? So number one, I worry about my hooks. So I kind of go over my arms and then I might block at my ear here, okay? I'm not as worried about him going over to the other side because I can counter that a little bit, all right? So as I tuck, right, and he's holding his position, right? He's got his hands in the right place. I can't trap them, okay? Right? So it's hard for him to get the hook in, either side, really. He's gonna try to have to turn me. And then that's my opportunity to move, okay? But if he overreaches his arm, that's the easy one, right? If I control this, I just drop my leg, turn into him, drop my elbow to the floor, and bridge toward him, okay? So we'll drill that first. So I get blown by, I heist my legs, I come up, right? He overreaches on one side, right? If I can get this wrist in any way, right, or his elbow, right? I'm just gonna drop my right leg back and fall on my side. Lean on him, don't turn this way, he'll come up on my back. Drop my elbow to the floor and bridge. Okay? Does that make sense? We're gonna start with that and we got a couple others, all right? Everybody good? All right, start with it. 1, 2, 3. All right, so he's gonna blow by me again, and I'm gonna heist, right? Just like we work on all the time. I'm gonna come up to that position, but I'm not gonna stay there because he's gonna move too fast. I'm gonna hope, well, he's just controlling at my hip before he settles on me, before he has really good control of my hips and my shoulder. I'm gonna try to move and get back in front of him again. Okay. So as soon as he gets by me, right here, I come up. And then before he gets, he doesn't have to wrap, he's just gonna be smart, right? As soon as I come up, I'm gonna roll that through that shoulder and I'm gonna open up again. So it's gonna be a combination of that shoulder roll and log roll to get in front of him again. I'm gonna open this outside leg really wide when I go. So as soon as I come up, I'm gonna roll and open, right? Try to stay in front of him. Again, I'm preventing the pass in this scenario. I'm not like I'm going to give up something. He's already passed me. I just don't want to give him the score. Okay, so I can't stay there forever. This has to happen really fast. As soon as I come up, I need to go. Right. So as soon as he passes, here, right. Look for some sort of control to be back in the game. Okay. So without him putting any pressure, as soon as I come up here, I'm tucking my shoulder, opening my legs as wide as I can get it so that he lands in between here. That's the goal. Okay? So as soon as I heist, roll on that shoulder again, inside shoulder, not outside shoulder. The shoulder next to him. All right? Time. 45. Here. Okay? We get to here, we just get some sort of grip to contain him, and then at least we're back in the game to defend. All right? Any questions? Yes, sir.
Now, is there a point where you could keep the one arm somehow and just roll straight into an omoplata?
Probably.
I mean, obviously where his
Anything's possible, right? But he's not going to be static there. He's going to be moving around me. So the second that he makes contact, I need to be going, right? Because he's going to start grabbing stuff. And if he gets too much pressure on me, it's kind of hard to complete that roll. All right.
That's what I was going to ask too about the pressure.
It's
like if you drop your shoulder and then but he's putting too much pressure on you, then what?
Sometimes it happens. You have to do something, right? Because if we stay there, he just scores.
Yeah.
Right.
So you'd rather be in trying to get in front of him rather than being
correct. Because I've already given up at minimum an advantage, but I don't necessarily want to give up the points. Right? Oh, okay. You see this more in competition jiu-jitsu, right? They don't concede anything. So they're gonna come up. You know, a lot of times you're gonna hear like never turn away. Well, if I turn and face him in that scenario after he's already by me, I just get conceded the pass. He has me in side control. There's really no way out unless I'm prepared like Courtney is with a heist with his arms tucked, and you know what I mean. Then I might be able to come up. But if he's gotten ahead of me with a Toriendo pass, whatever, throw bypass, something like that, and he's already passed, you know, to my hips. If I just turn towards him, I've conceded. Does that make sense? What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say a lot of times if that happens to me, I'll get stacked, I'll turtled up, and then I'll try to re-roll again. And if I get to this point where I'm rolling right here, and they sometimes will grab my pants, and then I'll just go back to the turtle and then go back again.
Yes.
Right away. So it's kind of like.
And he does do that. If I don't get enough control to almost to where I can start to set up a leg drag up with that stack, he'll re-roll.
So you're just back and forth until you get where you need to be.
If the first one doesn't work, you just go to the second one, and if it doesn't work, go back to the first, and then because he's going to be chasing, he wants to flat back you, he wants to stack you or whatever. So
the more connections I give him, the harder that roll is going to be in the first place. Right. So as soon as again, that's why we're practicing that all the time, right? I come up easily, right? Open, right away. Just roll into them, okay? So the shoulder next to him, into him, and go. Is everybody good? All right, start that. 1, 2, 3. So he's gonna blow past me again. I'm gonna heist a turtle, but then I'm gonna take a different approach, right? Maybe he doesn't move as fast and he's just got some pressure on me. I don't feel good about the roll, okay? I'm gonna come up and I'm gonna try to loop one of his legs, all right? So he blows past here, right? So he's really high with that knee, okay? So there's things that we can do here. I'm protecting the hooks, right? Now, can I get my left hand behind his knee? It's gonna be a tough reach right now, okay? But what I can do is, he's in tight, right? Come up, just get my hand in here. I don't need to win here yet, okay? So I kind of heist it out and I get my hand behind and on the floor. Now I use my shoulder on his leg. Okay, so I don't have to hold, I can, right? But as soon as I get to this, I need to get higher than him. Okay, I'll never move him here. He's stronger, he's pushing against me. Okay, but if I can get my hips up, right? I can start to come up behind him. Okay, so a lot of times, and just for ease on his knee and stuff, you can just go down to both knees for right now, that's fine. He could play it with both, or one knee up. But if I can come up to this, right, stay heavy on this and start to walk behind him, okay? So I'm just trying to clear one of those arms. I don't want to turn it into a thing where I'm doing this. He'll just move, right? I just want to get up there as quick as possible, get my shoulder against his leg so he can't just take off, right? And then try to get my hips above him and just run behind him, okay? If he's got that other leg up, it doesn't mean it can't work, right? And like he was saying, if I get stopped mid-process in that, I can sit back into a guard too, all right? So if I get to that spot again, right? And it's just not working, right? I've tried to come up, he's pushing against me, okay? Post, sit, right? I can get myself back into a guard. Whether it's butterfly guard here, right? He's trying to work from right. Closed guard. There's a bunch of options there. I can always try to make an attempt to sit back in. Again, I'm just trying not to give up the points. Already given up the advantage. All right? You blows past one more time. Here, turn, leg. So I hoisted this leg out, heavy, right? If his foot's up, I can still try it. Keep my hand on that floor, run behind him. Okay?
Are you just riding shoulder pressure the entire time?
Against, yeah,
Against the
tripod, my hips need to be above his. Okay? Again, he shuts it down. I can work that way, come back and try to sit back into a guard too. Does that make sense? You're looking at me crazy.
I mean, I'll get it.
Yeah. A lot of times, if you just go right away, most people are not. I mean, he's going to be moving. I may not be able to get that very often, right? But I'm always going to make my attempts, right? Worst case scenario, hopefully I can sit back into a guard. All right. Is everybody good? All right. Finish out on that. 1, 2, 3.